Okay. Good morning. Good morning. How's it going? How are things today? These dogs lovely. The dogs love laying under my feet. Um, and it makes for some awkward sitting positions for me sometimes. But they are very peaceful down there, so I'm like, a bit discomfort for me, but a lot of quiet, so that's good. Things are it's Thursday. Um, I get to code, and yeah, I just feel extremely tired right this second, so I apologize. I think the fact that next week is coming thick and quickly is kind of dawning on me, and I'm like, dear, a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff to do. Um, yeah, it's one of those things you don't you've got you hope that your time is full while you're away, because if I'm working, well, in training, etc., if there's lots of different sessions to take in, and then go to hotel, eat a meal with colleagues, go to room, fall asleep, do it again, the days fly by. But still, get into the airport, get in there, etc. It's yeah. So on with some coding. I mean, my thought is that if I have some like quiet time, etc., I will at least be able to contemplate what this looks like going forward, which is good. So I do get some spare time to myself, which is nice. Um, okay. So yesterday we introduced a delete entity interceptor, or an entity deleted interceptor, to publish any domain events that could be triggered by an attribute on the model. I'm still not 100% certain on that design. What I don't like about it is that my model now has behavior. My models have got behavior all over them anyway, right? So it's not like it's definitely it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just more. I mean, I'm publishing domain events and stuff anyway, so um, yeah, yeah. From a behavior perspective, it's magic, right? To the reader of the code, they just delete a requirement and it's dealt with. Um, from a testing perspective, I can't test that attribute thing. I can't validate that event fires. I have to trust it and test it in an integration test. So if that breaks in any way, shape, or form, the only way I'm ever going to be able to verify that is if I actually can do an integration test. So, and the only way I can do, I have to do an integration test to do that, because it's actually part of Entity Framework's interceptors, which means that it will only fire when Entity Framework actually does a save to the database. So it gives me a hole, and it's the hole that will create a major problem if it doesn't work for whatever reason. So I need to somehow get comfortable with what I need to do is I need to learn how to write some integration tests. That's the be all and end all. If I can't write some integration tests, then I can't validate this, and I have a definite challenge with the integrity of the system. I can't validate broken behavior, and if that was to get broken by an update or a bug, I would not know about it until someone's like, Why are my requirements not disappearing? Why are my requirements not updating? And I'll look at the data and see. So this gets round to, well, maybe if I do logging, I can look for some logs. I could log when I'm deleting something, and I could log when I'm integrating that deleted item, and I could log. What else could I log? Not sure what else I could log there. But yeah, it's requirement by identifier. Oh, so the problem here is, let me identify this. So Seribot's already banned you. Twitch, your Automod's getting better. But Seribot caught it first. So when I get a deleted notification, I have two pieces of information on that notification: the identifier and the planning item ID. So the integration, right? The goal here is we need to be able to say, await event publisher dot publish async requirement notification the identifier new requirement integration event. Nope. I need to be able to do that. I need to be able to publish and null. And that's just the null message. Manoj, good morning. How you doing? How are things? That's an interesting problem, actually. Does the rest of the system care? No, it's fine. The rest of the system doesn't care who deleted something, just that it was deleted. But the changes system wouldn't pick that up either. So we wouldn't be able to do requirement deleted by, etc. It'd just be requirement deleted. Now, right now, we don't have that ability, but interesting. Huh. No, it's not like I couldn't publish extra information. I could still publish who I could still publish a service bus event, or I could send a service bus command from here. There's nothing saying I can't do those things, but it does lend to an interesting challenge. Okay, so we need to open up Kafka extensions. So Kafka extensions is an open source component of this system. All the Kafka integration, the outbox, the setup, the ability to pull the configuration from console, So have the topics managed elsewhere. All that is available. So two things. Outbox publisher. Yeah, so this signature needs to change. Because I need, oh God, this is harsh. This might be more work than I intended it to be, but again, it's a challenge. I've created a library to wrap a library. Or I've created an abstraction to work easy with Kafka for me. And now this needs to adopt to a feature that I haven't tested up until now. Had I contemplated this 6 months ago, maybe I should have spent some time doing it, but at that point I had no need for it. So again, it's a Yagni thing. Anyway, introduce, delete, event capabilities. Okay. So the idea is with Kafka, is it that one? No, that's not that quick. Is it this one? Yes. Why? Oh, because everything's restarted. Docker. Forgive the yawning. I do apologize. Start that. No, not that. Services up. I'm gonna bring up all the Kafka components. Okay, while we're doing that, let's just kind of put the signature in there. Publishy, async, the event, GUID, key. That's an interesting one. That's a very interesting one. Because I need two overrides. Because I need that version as well. So, advice from Confluent: if you're sending a delete, hi, ZZZ, I know TV. How you doing? If you're doing a delete, send a blank message with a key, right? So put an event in the queue, or in the topic, with a blank body or null body. That way, you are indicating a delete. The challenge here is I do have to still support the topic version, because the event, I use that to look up the actual topic, the type of the event. So that's why I have that version. But I still want to be able to manually set the topic myself. Welcome in. If you are, if this is the first time watching the stream, you're more than welcome to ask any questions. Right now, I am working on a modification to a Kafka library I've built to support my main application. Zeno. Well, welcome in, Zeno. I'm good. I'm good. Just getting started today. Can't show the application right this second, but what we're doing right this second is we're working on deleting some pieces. You look like Dr. Octopus. No? No one said I look like Dr. Octopus before. Not necessarily an insult. I'm not an evil mastermind, though. So we're going to introduce the ability to send nothing. The question is, do we refer to these as delete async? Right. Technically, we're still publishing an event type, but we're not deleting specifically, but we're indicating delete. So yeah, it's still asynchronous. Do we want to do that? Or is it publish delete? Because we're not taking that action. We're not actually doing a delete in Kafka. We're just publishing what we indicate to the system as a delete. So do we publish delete? I think we'll do publish delete. Let's do that. That looks a little bit more what I'm trying to do. Okay, so now we need to implement those events or those methods. So we now get to the outbox. The outbox itself, again, takes the same sort of thing. So our entire outbox is not going to change. Because this, again, needs task post delete async. No, actually, it's still post. It's still task dot post async t event GUID key cancellation token default, and where t event the class and I event. Do we actually, we still need the topic version. So yeah, we got to support them. Yeah. So we need that version, and we need task post async. Interesting. Kind of want to work on. Hi, Sally, by the way. Kind of want to work on a side project using Kafka. I just see it mentioned a lot. Might be worth getting familiar with, but I guess Kafka is almost always overkill for small personal projects. It's designed for large volumes of data streams, right? It is. Even my use here, as much as I'm leaning on it, is probably a little bit of overkill. But I'm going to grow into it, right? That's the intention. The intention would be thousands of messages getting published through Kafka every second. I'm using Kafka for notifications. I'm using Kafka for, well, I'm not using it for specific notifications, but I'm using it for data transfer around the system. I'm using it for changes and all sorts. So, you know, as the system grows, as people start to use it more, then it can scale accordingly. But yeah, but I'd still play with it, even if you're not using it as it's really intended. Just understanding how it works and having your own questions is going to be useful. Hi, Emporium Guy. How you doing? I'd go off and tinker. I would definitely go off and tinker. Even if it's, hey, I've got application A and application B, I need to transfer some information. Because Unleash Greek, by the way, thank you very much for the follow. And Zeno, thank you very much for the follow. I didn't see that. My apologies. Um, Welcome in, newcomers. If you've not been in here before, what I'm doing right now might not make a lot of sense. I have been working on an agile management platform, as I put it before, a project management tool similar to Jira. I've been working on that for the past year. Codename Liquid Sky. Nothing to do with the movie from the 80s, which I never knew about until relatively recently. But basically, it's a large application for tracking planning and work items, aimed at trying to ease the burden on developers by introducing more visibility and alerting to the state of the stories in the system, essentially. And we're introducing a new feature the last couple of streams, being able to delete a requirement from a planning item, and it comes with it some new challenges as to how the system supports deleting. So if you have any questions, thoughts, opinions on what I'm doing, you're more than welcome to ask or pass an opinion. I reserve the right to ignore, but I'm open to learning and growth as much as I am to doing my own thing. So if you see something that you think, I don't think that's done right, you're more than welcome to say so. And if you like .NET content, Emporium Guy is becoming more active as a developer, learning, doing great, just relaxing, clocked off work. Nice. And yeah, he streams intermittently right now, we'll say. It doesn't seem to be a set schedule. He's doing some .NET learning and growth. It's the best thing to be doing. Always learning. The reason I paused here was because I still put a T event on this version with the topic, which concerns me. Because I don't have an event on the topic one. I still do, I suppose. I still know the event. I'm just telling it the topic. But I don't have an event in this other case. So yeah, so let's create this version. Task, post, async, GUID, key, string, topic, cancellation token was default. Why it's suffering. Sometimes we do that, right? Not everything comes easy. It's perfectly fine to struggle but again, to me, I kept saying it, right? What you should do is build stuff you understand. And when you see a different way of doing something, contemplate how it might change what you do now. You don't have to follow someone's advice. You don't have to follow. There's no set rules in how to write code. That's the beauty of code. Everyone has a different interpretation of how something does work, how something should work. Are there better versions? Yeah, there's a lot of smart developers out there that write great software. But you should have fun. Just enjoy what you're doing. Write code that you understand. Build software. Take pride in what you do. Don't just write a load of garbage. right? That's not helpful for anybody. And have fun and grow into it. You know, it's okay to not do things the way other people tell you to do them. Why did I do this way? I did this way because they're not all asynchronous. Yeah. The way of learning is paved with pain and pleasure. Anything you care about will provide pain and pleasure because you care about it. It matters to you. If you are ambivalent, then it doesn't really make a difference, does it? So, you know, I think that anybody coming to watch developers work on code to interact cares enough to learn, to grow, to see that you know, oh, I never knew you could do that. Let me work on that. Oh, did you know you can do this? It's a sharing. Um, it's funny. Oftentimes, my karate classes seem to overlap with my real life advice, like with my real life experiences. And last night was no different. And I thought of you immediately the moment they said it. So our um, sensei um, was giving a talk at the end of the class, and he said, "I don't come here to tell you what to do. I come here to show you how I do it and share my experience with you. How you learn it, how you use it, how you understand it is your own journey." And I was like, that's exactly the way I was thinking about the software yesterday, right? It's, I can share my experiences, I can share my understanding. I may be way off on some understandings. I may have been doing things for years um, as uh, as I just understood them, right? Now, someone can come into the stream and say, "Oh, hey, you're doing this wrong," and I learned something. Ta-da! I'm better because I can take on that advice and I'm understanding of that advice. So, um, and I grow and I'm better. So, but I can pick and choose. I don't have to. Martial arts is my personal journey, not a prescribed here, do this, and this, because it doesn't always work in some ways. But you cosplay as Gandalf on Halloween, it will fit your wise personality. My wife would love that. Me doing any sort of costumes. So anyway, I thought it was relevant. I thought it was worth sharing. And I did think of you the moment he said it. I was like, I'm going to share that. So accreditation given. Okay, so the problem here is that these outbots implementations now have to deal with something different. So there's a challenge here, right? Um, let's see. Let's see if I provided the ability for the outbots message content. Oh, cannot be null. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. Okay, so let's do this. Ah, this is because most of the code that implements this is going to be asynchronous. So I just I forced these into asynchronous just because the other code is going to be. So again, another piece of, I probably need to go off and do some learning. Okay, so this is new key, date time, null. Right. So first problem, inbox memory. This cannot be null. That's a problem. We've got some missing curly braces and parentheses somewhere. Okay. This is going to be challenging. That's going to be a problem. I cannot have. I have to have that. I have to know the type, even if I'm dictating the topic. That's a messy API. We may have to be willing to go back to the drawing board a little bit on this one and pull some pieces out and break things because this is not ideal. Okay, let's go fix the outputs. So the way this works is when I publish a message in the application, I don't actually publish or publish an event. When I publish an event in the application, I don't actually publish straight to Kafka. The reason being, if Kafka's unavailable, if Kafka has some issues right now, and that message fails, I've lost that message. The application crashes. We don't get that event, and the system is now out of whack. Right? I need to know that that message is going to get sent. So what happens is when I publish, it looks like I'm publishing the event. Right? That it should always look like that. But I actually have the outbots in place so that what happens is the publish actually posts the message into the outbots. The outbots can either be MongoDB or SQL Server or in memory if you're testing. And that will then store that. And another process runs, picks the messages out of there, and tries to send them. Do you use poison queues if it cannot be sent? No, not in Kafka. If it can't be sent, it'll error and it won't actually get into Kafka. So only when Kafka acknowledges it does it actually get marked as done. So Kafka has to acknowledge that send. So if Kafka's not available, morning Delta, by the way. If Kafka's not available, then the outbots will hold on to it. What would a bad message in Kafka look like? I see message every day. Sprays glitter and rainbows. Hey, Kenny. How's things? How are you doing? A message that cannot be processed for some reason. Say the database times out. I hit that once. Database times out. I'm fine. Found finally a person in a company that had the same problems like me and had solutions. So yeah, okay. Nice. Nice. You have colleagues that are helpful. That you have the same problems. That's cool. I learned yesterday. I realized that I realized the benefit of something yesterday. In a similar vein. In that case, the request was larger than the code could handle, and I wasn't aware. So I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I don't understand. So being very honest, I don't necessarily have an answer there. But a poison queue, if you create a poison queue, you have to still write the tools to either to move the messages back out of the poison queue, remove the poison queue, etc. Maybe that's a pattern that appears in the future. Right now, what happens is when I try to send, it will try and then it will back off to a maximum value, and it'll just keep trying until it succeeds. It won't process anything else in the queue though. It won't move on to the next message, which is where you might need a poison queue. But I don't want to. I don't want to. Right now, all I've seen is Kafka not being available. Right. If it can't process the Kafka, if something else happens, I'd rather know about that. So that comes into, you know, why I don't put try catches everywhere, why, I should be trusting that I've tested the application strongly enough when I get to that point that I've figured out some of the problems. But yeah, I appreciate the insight there. Like the thought of the poison queue is useful. He worked on the problems the last 8 weeks and made the ground to solve it already. Otherwise, I had tons of more problems. So sends this positive energy to everyone. I'm glad you found that person though, Kenny. That is very awesome that you saved some time there. Fail messages can be fairly common, actually. There's another system we built that has a number of fail messages due to domain reasons we had failed to understand when building. Sometimes, again, you don't know what you don't know, right? In this case, my events are pretty simplistic, so I don't see what would fail in them right now. So similar respect. In large organizations, I think it's not uncommon for two separate people in two separate groups to be doing the exact same work. Eh. I think that's in that instance, it's useful if teams are working on things and you think there is crossover to get teams together and do like regular. Hey, here's what we're working on. Yeah, I I said I saw a benefit similar to what Kenny did yesterday in the same way. An ad is going to start in about 30 seconds. If you are stuck behind the ads, I do apologize, but I do also appreciate. Um, I play 2 minutes of ads every 40 minutes to try and keep the pre-rolls away. Okay, let's make some ground on this. Okay, my concern is here. I don't have an event, right? But I kind of do. So let's go with that. I did lean poker yesterday. Really fun. Building a poker bot and competing against other TDD coaches. Nice. Lean poker. Lean poker. Master agile in practice. Teaching effective development process is tough. Huh. I'm bugging that they should lead you down with 100,000 views per video. Ah, interested to know your experience. Okay. Let's try and get this. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we need to support inbox. We need to support a nullable event because in this instance, we don't have an event, right? So in this delete case, we do know the type of the event, but we don't have an actual event. So we're going to do something similar to this, right? But we're just going to put null here. Actually, we're just going to put interesting. So nullable because I don't define this. I don't define it's a reference type. Okay, it's just it could be anything. But I don't constrain. I do. I can do that. So I should be able to do null now, right? Yeah, because I've said it's a class. Okay, so we don't need that. So we can publish the message to the outbox. That works fine. In this case, we still need the event, right? And it's almost the exact same thing. Um, right. The problem there is where do we send topic? Oh, we don't care about topic in this instance because our outbox is not storing that information. Topic is irrelevant in the in memory. So the outbox message now needs to be nullable here. So this again, this constraint has to go down. This has to be nullable. And outbox message object event has to be nullable, which will fix that. The event can be made private. That's the implicit implementation. So only when you're casting to outbox message. So I'm going to do that right now. So the fear I have with this is there's a lot of change I have to make now to be able to even support this feature. I don't really have any testing around this because it's kind of, so I have sample, so integration tests essentially, that things are working. So we'll have to build on some of them afterwards. I also need to do the migrations. Now let's go MongoDB outbox first. This might be the simpler one to deal with actually. So the confusing thing here is to the reader of this code, it's going to look like it's doing almost the exact same thing. It's just not posting the body, which is going to be weird. So yeah. So outbox message content here, that's going to be nullable now. Right. So the version here, each version has its own copy of what it stores, right? Because it's each version of the outbox can be handled differently. So this will now store the null. That's good. Right. There you go. So the other one is almost well, it's identical code. The problem is topic is not captured here. That's interesting. How do I deal with it? Oh yeah, store topic. Okay, so it's almost identical to this. Right now, I know that I'm copying and pasting code. Um, but I can come back over here and look at this later because realistically, what I'm doing is I'm just saying, hey, okay, there's no body, or there is a body, so that's the only difference. Copy paste the code means probably duplication, but not necessarily. It might be harder and less meaningful to rewrite this in just trying to get some of the duplicated pieces down. It might actually make the code harder to read. So my biggest concern here is not actually yeah, that's going to trip up as well. My biggest concern here is not actually the copy paste, is actually the fact that it's not very obvious that this is a delete. I'm supporting passing a null object into the outbox now. The behavior is inferred, so it's less meaningful. But it is a complicated component. It's a piece that you should not be touching if you don't understand what it's doing anyway. So I think there's some payoffs there. So this one, message.event body not equal to null. Null. So then that's building the outbox message. That'll work fine. Commit. That stores it. That just needs that to keep that all in line. And that should be that working. Well, that should be that working. SQL Server, this is a little harder, right? I'm going to have to create a migration for this one. Now it runs migrations on startup. So the migration should modify the column type and say, yep, you can now be null. So it should be okay there. Okay, so let's take this. And again, this is type of T event. And then null. That looks very familiar, doesn't it? The problem is that the outbox message content here is not the same as the outbox message content there. These are different implementations. Now, again, this is open source. This is the aim is to I should be able to refactor this and tweak this independently of Liquid Sky. But yeah, there's clearly duplication now between the two implementations. Is that wrong? Not necessarily, because they are independent implementations, and they could have different behavior. I could do different things in here. But yeah, worth looking at. Okay, so what are you whining about? What are you whining about? Oh, down here, yeah. That needs to support nullable. Why doesn't that break in that one? F2 goes to error for what it's worth. I did not know that. Thank you. Why did you not break? Yeah, that's supporting it. Possible null reference. Yeah, that's fine. I will try and remember that. That's a useful keyboard shortcut. Okay, so they're building. Build failed. Yeah, I was going to say, I bet the Kafka publisher doesn't actually support this now. Oh, that doesn't look right, does it? Okay. So, outbots. Why is that? Why has it been excluded from code analysis? Oh, thank you, Delta. Okay, so this is actually the one that does pull actually does publish to Kafka. So this is the one we're actually going to have to deal with this. Now we might need to deal with this in a different way because the value serializer is going to balk at null. Let's figure it out. So basically, all this comes down to is there is only one Kafka publisher. I inject iKafka publisher, but I event publisher, sorry, but ultimately I don't have another version. So this is why this is called just Kafka publisher. So the way this works is if you have a topic, it goes in here automatically, right? It's just sent right into this code. Because I've introduced this now, there's this override. Right. We might be able to do it this way. Hold on. So if we remove that, again, testing this is going to be new timestamp. Delete it now. Doesn't really matter when. And that's null. Message. So then this would be await, publish, delete async, t event. This would be key, topic, cancellation token. Heading out. Delta, thank you very much for hanging out for a bit. Hope you have a great day. And yeah, thank you for the hints. Appreciate them. Hopefully we'll talk about poison Q more as we go forward. Okay, that removes that. Okay. Let's see if everything builds. So first priority, run the sample programs and validate that they are still functioning, right? So let's start with producer sample. The producer sample starts a new Kafka publisher. It gets that. It publishes a message. It publishes another message to configured topic. So it will infer yeah, this one will go to configured topic and the other one will go to published topic. So let's run that one. Let's bring up this. This will probably error because I'll have to probably create the topics because I probably don't have it set to auto create. Oh no, it did. So there we go. So we have configured topic, right? And we should have sample product event, and we have that, right? So there's our messages. So now let's go. So this part, we are testing that the producer will produce the null. We're not doing outbots. We're just testing the straight up produce. This is the first piece. So now let's publish a null. Publish async, publish delete async, and let's do sample event. And this is going to be, that's going to be hard. It doesn't, actually doesn't matter. So we're going to publish that delete, and we're going to publish delete async. Sample event, but we're going to publish grid.new grid configured topic. So we should see an empty message appear in both of these. We should see another copy of that message, the original message, just for continuity. But let's see if that actually works. Uh-oh. Value serializer not specified, and there's no default serializer defined for sample event. Okay. So you have to set a value serializer. Let's have a look. Kafka set null. Let's allow set serializer when event is null. Receive null value returning. Oh. I mean, 0 bytes. Let's just copy that in and let's see if we can modify that serializer to support where T event, the class event. Did I not put constraints on these things? Call myself a professional. Ugh. I'm just duplicating semicolons, doing all sorts of rubbish. Oh. They're deliberately there right this second. I'll worry about them in a second. It says deliberately, it means forgot about them, but it's fine. So this will go into the event publisher, which ultimately becomes a Kafka publisher right this second. We go to the event serializer. Now, if data is null, I don't think it can support that though. That's the problem. If data is yeah, I don't think that it's not going to like that because it doesn't have anything telling it that that's nullable at all. And this is an implementation of that method, right? The serializer. The serializer takes T. It doesn't specify what T is. So I can't test if that's null. It's fine. That's just warning that it creates a static field and generic type is you get a copy of this per or one copy that's shared between them all. It doesn't care about the actual generic. That's what that's warning me about there. It's probably not a good design. It's just yeah. So if I can't do that, how do I do this then? New default serialize. No. New event serializer, T event. Let's see what happens. Let's just actually run it because it's going to pass it null. If it serializes the string null, I'm in trouble. Because it should just be an empty message. No, it didn't crash. We do have 4 messages. Oh, that's not good. It serializes a string null. It kind of worked. It shouldn't say null. That's not good. It should just be empty. Hold on. Almost did. I almost went full on JavaScript then. Result equals this. If result equals null. Oh no 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 no. That's not going to do that. I need to return an empty byte array. I think there's a base implementation, isn't? No. T T. See, I don't have all the answers. So, upcoming in the next week, I won't be streaming Monday through Thursday next week because I'm away. I'm actually away until very early Thursday morning, but there's no way I want to get up and start trying to stream. So my apologies for that one. Um, but I will be back on Friday, and I have a um did I really just publish the word null again? I just changed that, right? Um, welcome back. So next Friday, I'm going to do a community day stream. I'm going to open up Discord for anyone who wants to join in and have a chat. No, I'm going to start getting into the retro games towards once we get into winter. I'm actually going to start doing some gaming streams on TBD Developer. Um, this is going to be really narcissistic. So that I don't mess with the stats of the development, I actually do have a different channel for gaming. So I don't stream games very often, but I'm going to try as we go into winter to take my weekends and do more game streaming. So some Gran Turismo, um, maybe some Space Marine. My brother wants to play Space Marine as well. But I also want to get the retro console set up and maybe play like older Gran Turismos or older versions of games that I currently have, and then play the modern versions and stuff like that. So yeah, more retro gaming coming up in the winter. But next Friday, I'm going to celebrate 25 years as a professional developer. So I'm going to open up for a community day. I'm going to do 3 to 4 hour stream minimum, and we can chat. We can ask questions. We can talk about Liquid Sky. We can talk about other projects. So all are welcome. But yeah, um, if I remember to announce when I do game dev. I wish I could do some game dev as well. That would be awesome. But yeah, next Friday celebrates 25 years as a professional developer. And yeah, fun fact, I feel just as nervous and just as an imposter sometimes that as I did when I was 1 year into development. So, but it just keeps driving me to try and do better and try and understand more. Why the word null? Why are we doing this to me, Kafka? Like it'll suffice because that'll deserialize as null as well. I think. Actually, what happens if you do that? We do JSON serializer dot deserialize null. I keep wanting to write that. Bar result equals new deserialize. But what would that actually be? Public class modulant event. It doesn't crash. Yeah, okay. I mean, I thought it would be empty, but not an actual literal null. So JSON serialization will deal with it, or JSON deserialization will deal with it. that's at least, yeah, null serializer. I mean, it returns a null. Definitely getting there. Just to validate. Let's make sure it's actually getting into that method. Yeah, it's definitely getting there. There's the topic. There's the key. We have no event. Yeah, it publishes null. Okay. Well, either way, it's obvious. It's obvious that I'm not sending in a blank deliberately. Okay, so now the challenge. We need to run a migration on this. Entity framework core, add migration, allow null message body. Where did I go? Did I just screw that up? Oh no, there you go. Allow null message body. Okay. So Kafka SQL sample next. We're just going to go straight in and we're going to do our deletes. Actually, we probably should do outbots. This does an in-memory one. Let's validate that one first. Let's do outbot sample before we rush right in. So now this is a in-memory outbot, so this shouldn't have any issues. Actually, this should actually have an issue. It should throw an exception. If it's hitting the right pieces, it should hit an exception because someone didn't implement it. Yeah, there we go. Return outbots.post async t event key cancellation token. Outbots.post async t event key topic cancellation token. Okay, there we go. That's them wired up. Should have done them the first time, but never mind. We need to go through and fix some warnings there. Again, if you want access to this project, this is no, we don't have commands anymore. We just don't bother with bots at all on this stream. Okay. This is on my main GitHub, purely because it is a library that I'm building to support this. It's not a stream built specific library. I do have TBD Friends, which is a repository for projects we're working on the stream that are accessible to everyone there. But this is supporting library, and there is a NuGet package. It does get published to NuGet when I do a release. So yeah, if you are looking at using Kafka and want something to try and take some of the pain out of some of the features, it is an option. Okay, so let's run the outbox sample again. Let's see. All I'm looking for is if it runs and doesn't throw up. Right. Object reference not sent to an instance. So the outbox service is running and trying to produce to Kafka, but it can't do it because it can't deserialize that. So it's erroring. right? So the outbox service, he says with confidence, infrastructure consumption. Need to move that to other files or that, yeah. Outbox service, here you go. So the outbox service is a background service that runs to pull the messages out. It gets added as a worker service as part of the website or the thing you include the Kafka outbox in. So it's just running in the background. Set to run as a long running task attached to the parent, so it'll die. It knows it's long running, so how it can handle this thread, and also I think that also means that it will get its own thread. I'm not entirely certain on the task creation options, but that means it's linked as well. So the problem here is method passing the event. We publish the event, but the event is null. So publisher dot right. So now we don't know the difference between regular and not regular. So if event is null, await publisher dot publish delete async t event key cancellation token else. But expression is always false according to nullable reference types annotation. But it's a class. Expression is always false types annotations. Time to learn a little bit more about how that's worded. Expression words in C#. C# ignores nullable API contracts. Can't be null because it's already checked for null. Well, here it's not. This is dynamically invoked. That's not going to help, is it? That is not going to help. Message dot. Don't we serialize this though? That's bad. That's very bad. Sorry. Yeah, restore the type. Why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? That shouldn't be. I outbox message. Oh no. Am I failing to store? I need to store the type on the message. So, public type, event type. If we have that, right, then this can be equals type of t event. In the SQL Server, we store that though. So do we get rid of that deliberately. So SQL Server outbox, the message down here has outbox message has type event type. That's a default. That's a build. That's fine. Type of that now has that, but outbox message content stores type. So I must map that in here somewhere. Right, there we go. So what we can do is say type equals this is the outbox message. Oh, this will work now. So when I send an event in, it gets stored into the actual SQL table, right? This stores. Hello, dog. Are you okay? You come in saying hello? You want to come say hello? Come here. Come here, bud. Hello, my friend. Hello, my friend. Hello. You good boy? Yeah. Oh, it's a hard life being a dog. Oh, you're not in camera today. You're getting cut out. It looks like you're a chair. You're a chair. Yeah? You want to be a chair? Do you go outside and run around for 20 minutes? Okay. I'll be right back. No, not 20 minutes. I'll let them outside. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Okay, so outbox. So when I save a message, it actually just gets stored straight in the SQL layer. So it looks like it's the publisher. That's the intent. So it publishes it there. The service runs and it builds it retrieves the message, which constructs the outbox message from what it's got, right? So if it can't, it goes and gets the next non-processed message from the list, ordered by the date added. So it gets the most recent. So it is a queue. We build the message up and we pass, and then we have an outbox message type, right? So to the rest of the system, we have outbox message. So that means now anything that constructs this is going to have its type attached to it because it's going to know what type of event it is. Which means when I go to my outbox service now, instead of this piece of code here, I can say message dot event type, right? So we can remove that entirely because that doesn't need to be an actual variable that we track and waste Get more resources. So now we're tracking that event type again. That means this. That means this. This can be null. Yeah, that's all I wanted to do. Okay, that's why I was getting confused, because yeah, I can make it nullable because it is a class now. Okay, just having a moment. Did you come right back in and lie down at my feet? You did, didn't you? He just wanted his sister to move. What a jerk. Nice. So this method is being flagged as complex. If I click this button here, what it's doing is it's highlighting things that are making it a little bit more difficult to understand, right? So I can improve that. So cognitively, this is hard code to understand. Ba, 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 ba. Not going to worry about that right a second. Okay, let's run the outbox sample once more. Let's see if we can actually publish some messages to Kafka. We should be able to publish all the same things. And in reality, if this works, then I don't see this SQL sample not working, but we'll validate that in a second. So we should see. There we go. No, no, no. Hello. That's 12. There's the message. Some via hello world. So outbox sample. We publish hello world and date time, and then we publish a null and a null. Could we test the two deletes? Oh no, that's not good. Ah. Okay. Two deletes are there because the outbox. No, because it was in memory. If it was SQL Server, I'd accept that one. I think I got pushed to the wrong queue. Yeah, it's not dealing with this version. It doesn't like this version. It's publishing it as sample event. It's ignoring that fact. So publish the async here again. My bet is that's the service because the service doesn't know the difference. So even though I have topic, interesting. If topic is not null, just found a bug. Oh. Hello, bud. What? I've opened the door. You can go outside and play. Else this. So we need an overload. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good. No, no, no. What we need to do here is message.topic. And then we need string topic, but that's nullable. He doesn't. Well, he probably wants a cookie. For a dog that is as thin as he is, he's a machine at eating. So yeah, he probably just wanted a reward for just wagging his tail or something. In the mornings, uh, I think I let them out in the backyard to run around and play for a little bit, and then like because it's like 5:30 in the morning, um, and they get their healthy treats when they come back in. But he he thinks he can just get the treat if he goes to the door, comes and turns around and comes back in, and just sits and looks pretty. I'm like, dude, go, go do your thing. Uh, but yeah, he doesn't know how to chew either. So um, uh, if topic is null, don't like writing this code, but we're gonna write it just to make it clearer. Else, what I was going to do is do that here and call and invoke a different version of the method. Actually, we're going to do it that way because that's hideous. We're going to have this publish, delete, right? Where we don't have an event, but we do have a topic available. And so this is going to be if topic is topics not topic is not null, right? So in this instance, the event can't be null, the topic can be null. We're going to publish the same thing just with topic and almost identical. So let's just paste that in and then publish delete async t event, right? Where we don't have an event now. Otherwise, publish delete async t event that, right? So now the method is message dot topic is not null. No, message dot event not equal to null. Then we publish that one. Otherwise, type of outbox service dot get method name of publish delete. There we go. So I know that I just nested them, but that does mean that the code is a little bit more explicit. It's a little bit clearer to understand. I'm publishing an event or I'm publishing a delete. And now it's clear which thing triggers that from here. And the invoke of the method is the exact same, right? No, it's not. No, it's not, because I still have that. Hold on. Let's take that back. Am I benefiting from this? If message is not null, if message.event is null. So now I'm introducing cognitive complexity up here. Am I benefiting? I don't know. And also we call this message, but publish event. Oh, okay. I'm not going to fight that right a second. It would conflict on the names. So when it uses the reflection to get the method, it would be like, well, hold on, I've got two published deletes. Which one do you want me to actually fire? I'm actually looking for the generic version. I could actually introduce a bit more code there to clean that up. It would make it cleaner. Did you know if you made a list of the most awesome product developers or not, you'd be on it? Thindle, thank you very much for the compliment. How you doing? How's things? Thindle's not aware. Thindle is another .NET developer and a streamer, and an awesome one to boot. I'm okay, a bit low on self-esteem at the moment, but chugging along. I can understand that. That sounds familiar. Well, I hope you are able to lift yourself up soon. It's a very weird jam entry, though. I would. There's not enough hours in the day for all the projects we could do, right? For all the things you want to do, you have to, for everything you want to work on, you have to set 10 things to the side. Because there's just something else you could be doing, something else you could be working on. Okay, let's see if this runs now. I'm not happy with the code. I'm going to change that eventually. But I have to pick my priorities to the, you know, um, to the point of deferring on things. Configured topic should get a message. There's too many messages in here. Oh, don't be pushing the nulls there. Got a bad comment from one of the other organizers at the conference, and then I had to talk about it with the organizer boss today. So, yeah. Bad comment. Oh. Let's clean these out. Let's clean this out. Oh, no, 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 no. That's terrible. What did I just do that for? What did I just do that for? Can't delete a topic in here. It breaks the entire thing. It breaks Kafka. It breaks everything. So that's just brought Kafka to its knees. Deleted. I think it's this tool specifically, how it deletes or how it does whatever it does, but it'll bring, yeah, it brought the broker down. The broker's now in a bad state. Ken hit me with, should I even keep doing this? The thing that that's hilarious. For a different reason. So Emporium Guy, before I was giving some advice. I was passing on some advice or some guidance, I suppose it was, right? Um, that we were given yesterday. And Emporium Guy says I should dress up as Gandalf for Halloween because I am wise. And then you go, this too shall pass. Dear. But same advice, the same stuff we got yesterday. Actually, I'm going to pass on again because I think it's very relevant um, to this. So we were at karate, and at the end of every, um, I did not. Um, if you want to share a link, um, the content is no longer available. I guess. So at the end of the karate class last night, the sensei, we sit down and they normally give a little bit of positive advice for the day, right? And what he said was essentially, it is not my job to tell you how to do karate. It is my job to share with you how I do karate and what I have learned so that you may follow your own journey. And I think it's relevant to what we do, especially as streamers and presenters. You're not you're not going out there, and I think that's where we all get mixed up, and it's why of late I don't take I don't read a book and think I need to do my code this way. I don't hear someone say, "Oh, I do it this way," and say, "Oh, I need to follow that exact thing because that's the way that it's done," right? Should should do this, should do that, should do this, should do that. You need to follow your own path. You need to be comfortable with what you're doing, and you need to build software. People who have experience to share should be able to share those experiences with you. And it's hard not to provide it as you should do this. Like any parent has either, suffered, oh, you need to do this, you should do this, you should do this, or been guilty of it themselves. Guilty of that. It's very easy to pass on advice as should. And as developers, we take it on quite literally a lot of the time, especially as new developers. We think we have to follow exactly what someone else is doing because they obviously know more, right? Um, but you're sharing your experience, you're sharing your understanding. And if your understanding is broken anyway, the best thing that can happen is someone can say to you, "Oh, by the way, did you know this is possible?" Or "Here's the way I do it." And you can take that advice and use it or discard it or whatever you need to do. But you should be comfortable writing the software. You should be comfortable working with things. And I think from a conference perspective, people who are brave enough to get up there and speak to a room full of people and share what they do and how they've done it, I think deserves a lot of respect. From conferences, I take, oh, that's cool. Oh, it's not even that difficult to do that. I should try integrate that. Then I go home and read the details. Right, but that's our growth. That we're constantly growing. We're constantly improving. We're constantly looking at I mean, technologies come at us thick and fast, and they just keep getting thicker and faster, right? Like, oh, you should use this tool. Oh, you should use this tool. Oh, this is the cool thing. This is this cool thing now. Oh, by the way, this is cool. Um, Intro slide from chaos to order using the repository pattern the right way. Slide 2 from chaos to order using the repository pattern the right way, according to me. Yeah. Emporium guy was on the receiving end of several different people's advice yesterday, and not bad advice, um, different experiences. But again, it comes in the form of you should do this or you shouldn't be doing that. The link doesn't show. Dogs don't be barking. Yeah. Okay. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do dot services down Kafka. That will bring all those down and dispose of the actual containers. Or it should do. We'll start them up again. Services up, Kafka, and it will initialize the endpoints. We should be good. New link. Oh yeah. I saw it. Yeah, with Zelda, your boss. Sorry. Yeah, you shared it on one line stream, didn't you? Yeah. Ah. Oh my goodness me. Nice. That's cool. That's a room full of people as well. How I use computer. How I use scroll bars. I am fed. Nice. That's cool. But again, you're brave enough. You know, it's funny. I've done this for 5 years, but the idea of sitting in a room doing this, or standing in a room doing this, terrifies me. That broker didn't start, did it? No. Oh, 200, but most were at the big session. Yeah. Oh, I bet. But that is a fun one. You break it, bud. Did you break it? Can I have a hug? Can I have a hug? No hugs? Come here, hugs. Can I have a hug? No. What's your sister doing? She being noisy? It's Loki. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. What's this? Going to be a bad influence. I'm going to use a treat to get him to do. Come here. What's this? Come here. Up. Up. No. Come here. What's this? Come on. There you go. Can we see you? Do you think? There's Loki. Yeah, there we go. There you go, bud. You go, boy. Fist bump. There you go. He's a big softy. Unless you try and touch his paws, I found out. He went rolling around in dirt yesterday, and I got a wet wipe and wiped him down, and I went for his paws. He was not down for that. Okay, is this not? No, come on. Oh, I know why. So that delete not only does a bad thing there, it does a bad thing to the storage. I don't know. Services down. Dot services down. Kafka. So we need to go and bring Kafka down, but we also need to go to this directory and remove Kafka. Oh, I could clean his belly, I could clean his head, I could clean his ears. But the moment I went to touch his paws, he leapt over my back. Oh yeah, dev data, Kafka. So the problem here is I need to delete this directory. So once Kafka's down there, because somehow it puts that directory into a bad state. I should recreate that. There you go. Okay. Yeah, Loki's a big softy. He is a big softy. And okay. Not got as much done as I wanted to today. I wanted to get back to the app running. But this is all in the name of delete. So This is so we can do this, essentially, right? That's all we need to be able to do. And this will be publish, delete async. And it will be requirement integration event. That's what we're aiming to do. So all this goes away here. And on this side, this planning item integration event, we need to be able to do, do I have an ID version of this? Can I do public int ID? Where ID is ID? Yes, it can. So the goal of this is we take notification planning item ID, and we probably do need to track who did this. That's going to be extremely difficult. I need to come up with some really good ways of tracking technical debt, because that's what that just became. Because of the out of process nature of the events, I lose track of who did what and when. So at some point, I'm going to have to figure out, okay, can I apply either some sort of context or like an actions that tracks who did what, so that I can glean that information from somewhere else. I can't pass it through the event because this event is actually triggered by the delete. That delete does not have an action on it. There's no context against it. There's nothing else. Now, the way I could do this, and I don't like doing this, is I could do delete, which puts me right back to the code I was at yesterday, which would have meant none of this was necessary. Well, none of the interceptor was necessary. I could do it that way, right? And now this just does requirement, no, add domain event, that, and then on here, I could add the source user. That means I know who did it. The problem is we're doing it that way. I've got the same issue with that. I'm just using that to create the domain event. I have to do it. Like, I have to remember to do that. So if someone else comes along and says, oh, I need to delete the requirement, and just does this and doesn't do this, then the event never fires. So it's kind of a, do I want to do that? No. Might I have to do that? Actually, in the end, yeah, I might actually have to get rid of all the clever code I wrote yesterday to support just doing that. But again, I like the idea that the main events that fire are side effects of the data changing. There's no data changing when I'm deleting a requirement. And again, I'm not doing soft delete. I'm going to do a hard delete until such time as there is evidence that a soft delete is actually necessary. Right? I'm a give you enough rope to hang yourself sort of developer, right? If you want to go and delete things from your system, not going to stop you from deleting, but I'm also not going to jump through hoops to retrieve what you had. That's called organization and permissions and all sorts of other fun stuff. So anyway, updating requirements, need to track who did the update, the delete. I mean, I could do that all manner of ways, right? I could audit the actions. I could actually create an audit track in each system of what actions were taken and when they happened and who did them. And that way I could say, okay, this action, you know, who did this thing? Um, and pass that event ID around. I could do all manner of things. But again, I like the idea of some of this being kind of implicit. So what we did yesterday was create this deleted interceptor, which will go and figure out, does this actual entity have a deleted attribute on it? And if it does, it will publish the event in reaction to that thing happening. So that allows us to do that. We can say, okay, you're going to pull these pieces of information and pass them through into this matching on name. That's the challenge. So they have to match that and that, right? And that's that. And that because it's identifier and end interface. But anyway, yeah. So I still need to do this piece. No matter what happens in that code, this piece needed to be done anyway. So there's no doubt there in my mind that that's necessary. So before we call it quits, there's all our original topics back. Don't delete the topic. Don't delete the topic. Okay. So we get in here, topic is null. We run that one. Topic is null. Topic is null. Oh, we get there every single time. That's not good. But. So there's our sample product event. So we have there, and we should have another topic. That's the problem. We should have configured topic, because the idea is that you can use the event and it will look up in the configuration. So in our app settings here, you see I have the topics configured. So it will say, oh, this type of event uses this topic name. But you can also, the idea is you can also override that. So this one isn't publishing to that other one, that other configure topic, but I am deleting to it. But what happens is both of these get sent to the same topic because it's ignoring this piece here. So I need to in the outbox service. I don't care about that page. I don't care about that piece. I don't care about that piece. Okay. So let's run it again. So really tiny text. Okay. We got to our delete. So our message has no topic. The first one I expect. The second one I want to have a topic. No. So it's legitimately doesn't have a topic set. So is that an in-memory message outbox problem, or is that a right? Because I do support tracking the topic, and I bet it is. I bet it is. So post async without a message. There, post async with a topic. Null topic. It is a defect in that piece of code. We should get there now. Once we get there, we'll message no topic. That's fine. No topic. That's fine. This one should have a topic. There we go. And there we go. So we should now have in here, we should have a configured topic with a message in it, and it should be delete. And there we go. There's our delete. Nice. Okay. So unfortunately, that's pretty much where you have to end today. Yes, a lot of grindy work. Again, this is an open source project. This is actually a project I've been building around Kafka to try and use the complement library and make it a little easier to use and configure. There's outbots is in here. So there's implementations for Mongo and SQL Server. There's an in-memory version. It can be hooked up to console to pull its topic configuration from. So this is something that I've open sourced as part of the Liquid Sky project to try and share these things back out. There are other libraries available for wrapping Kafka to get it set up, but it does make, I can say for certainty, it does make getting to use Kafka a little easier and a little bit more clean. So yeah, there we go. If you're new to the stream, oh, by the way, Kieran, I'll say, thank you very much for the follow. If you're new to the stream and you have more questions, you have thoughts or opinions on what I'm doing, there is a Discord. It's linked in the cards below, both on YouTube and on Twitch. All the videos do go to YouTube, by the way. So I stream to YouTube and the videos are retained there. So the entire series of 142 episodes of this development are up there. Tomorrow, I hope to be able to get back to I'll get this committed, get it tested, go through those pieces, get it pushed to NuGet, so the latest packages are there, and then I can consume them tomorrow and pick up with the actual delete and get that working. We can solve those problems, but then we should be able to delete a requirement by the end of tomorrow's stream. In reality, I don't spend a lot of time off stream working on this. So this entire feature set so far has taken me as long as you've seen. So even though there is a lot of code, there's a lot of pieces, development in this system is actually pretty quick. And most of this would be like 1 day's worth of work. So it's not actually not as scary as it might seem. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for coming and hanging out. We're going to raid Simba again because Colonel Simba is continuing on his developing his cooking app. I'd like to raid. No, he finished. Oh, come on. You're very welcome. Again, if you have any questions, thoughts, or opinions, etc., you're more than welcome to ask. I am not. I'm not perfect. I try and develop the best I can and learn as much as I can along the way, and help as much as I can in any other way. So there are no app devs streaming on my list. So we'll go to my favorite, which is Fullbots. Fantastic day. Thanks for streaming. Prime guy, thank you very much. One line, thank you very much. Been a few years since I've done C#. This was fun to see. Nice. Well, I do a lot of C#. It is as I said, next week I celebrate 25 years as a developer, professional developer. So next Friday will be a community stream, open Discord, ability to ask questions and just tinker and do stuff. So, yeah, Hope to see you again. Thank you very much for the follow. I do appreciate it. So let's go rate full bots because no other app devs are that I know of are streaming that I have followed. And yeah, on the topic of community days, I almost forgot. Sorry, One Line. One Line runs a fantastic stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on Fridays does a community stream, a community day stream. You can drop in Discord and have a chat. Does a lot of cool .NET development. Does Blazor, so I use Angular on this stream, and I use some technologies. And you know the differences in technologies. People like Thindle as well do a lot of migrating from older versions of .NET, which is a common problem that people experience, to newer versions, and the transition and the tooling, etc. So I can't shout out everybody. Coming up in the next couple of months, I do want to take a bit of a diversion and start working on developers.stream. I really want the ability to be able to shout people out as they come into the stream, because I just think that's an awesome opportunity. But anyway, I have to go because my dogs are going to get let out by the lawn people. You should not be mowing a lawn that's empty. I will see you again tomorrow, and let's go raid full bots, and I will back. Take care, all. Have a great day. Twitch, stop with crap. It keeps putting channel in. It keeps auto-filling it. Come on. There you go. There you go. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye all.